What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what you should be looking out for the future of this company. I'm also going to be giving you guys my price prediction for tomorrow and talk about where I see the share price going based off the price action we are seeing right now. I'm also going to talk about what the news is saying about Tesla, what's going on with the Shanghai Gigafactory, and what on earth is happening with the stock split, and everything like that for you to be prepared for tomorrow. Now, before I break any of this down, before I get into any more details, I do have to mention a couple of very important things first. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please do not take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you do sign up for Webull and deposit any amount of money, whether it's $1 or $100, it's really up to you. You are guaranteed 5 free stocks. This is your last chance. Today's the last day for you to get this offer, so please check out the offer down below. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Tesla, we did see a drop today. In fact, we saw a drop throughout the entire market. Looking at the SPY, we're down about 1.54%. The Nasdaq was also down about, 1.54% as well. Very, very similar. A lot of shorting was going on, and we are seeing a healthy pullback for the market after the green we've been seeing for the last couple of weeks. So this is completely healthy. Don't look at this as anything that's, too horrid or anything like that. But Tesla in itself is a little bit different from the market, right? Just because the market is red, it doesn't mean Tesla's always going to be red. It's very different every now and then. Now, what I am seeing is there's a little bit more fear on the fear and greed and index. Right over here, we can see it's at 47. It was a little bit closer to the greedy side. It's pretty neutral, but I do see it maybe going to the fearful side, at least a little bit. So I am seeing a slight pullback, maybe perpetuating tomorrow for the market. And I do expect this to affect Tesla as well. Now, what do I see in the charts? Well, it's essentially the same as before, right? As far as the channel goes, the channel I was talking about. But right now we're seeing lots of signs of weakness, unfortunately. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Now, I still love the company. I'm still very bullish long term. But I do want to bring up some very important indicators. Look at the VWAP right over here. You guys can see for some of today, we were running above it, then we got that big pullback below it, and we started to struggle, I would say, towards the last couple of hours as the market started to descend. And then we had this not so good close for Tesla standards. We ended up dropping pretty hard. I didn't even expect us to drop this hard towards the close. We're down to about 1.5% in the red. We are a little bit green after hours, but we are showing some signs of weakness. We saw this drop right over here. Now, I want to bring this up to you guys again. Let me first close this. Let's actually look at the chart from this perspective. I drew out these two main lines. Okay, we have the blue line and we have the red line. I'm going to repeat this for you. And I've told you guys that if we managed to break out of 1,115, we would have soared, right? We would have seen a lot of strength most likely if we broke it and managed to consolidate above it. But if we ended up dropping below 1,070, that's where I found the support, we most likely would have dropped even further and we would have just dropped to about the $1,050 range. And right now, we're seeing this curl right here. We're starting to curl downwards. And this wasn't showing yesterday, right? That's why my conviction was a little bit different, but it's starting to show, and we're showing some bearish price action. And it's looking like we're ready to start testing this support at 1,070. And I do believe we're going to be testing it tomorrow, so be prepared for that. Now, as far as my price prediction goes, let's actually look at a little bit more data before I get to that part, because I like to be very data driven. I don't like to just make random predictions. I like to look at what the charts are telling me. So I'm using 2-hour candles. This is a different time frame. Let's zoom in. Look at this right here. The curl is very prominent in the MACD, right? You can see right here we had this big bullish channel. Once we reached it, we saw sideways action, which I said we would have, really liked to see where we went from there. And we got that rejection. So now we're starting to see this big drop right here. The MACD flips with the 9-day moving average. We're seeing red histograms. RSI is pulling back to 61.12. And right now we're getting this crossover, almost a crossover between the positive and negative DMI lines, which are an indicator of a different or opposite price action in terms of direction and movement. So this means we're getting some bearish indicators according to the technical analysis. So where do I see us going? Like I told you guys, I predict tomorrow, and this is where my prediction comes. Tomorrow, I think we're going to see some similar price action. We're going to run a little bit in the beginning, see high volatility, and we're going to end up dropping. And I do think we're going to test the $1,070 level of support. I don't see us breaking out of there just yet. I think it's gonna hold us for some time. And if we did drop out of it, I do think we're going to quickly run right back up. I do expect us to maybe trade a little bit sideways, but we're going to be at the lower end of this channel because let's just say I hypothetically drew a line in the middle. That's going to be between 1071 and 1115. That would be a $44 difference. So $22 above that would be the $193 range. So like right here, right? So if you have a midline here, you could see that, yeah, in the beginning we were doing pretty well. We were above it, but then we started dropping below it. And this is kind of like what I was trying to show you with the VWAP. So I anticipate we're going to have a lot of action in this range where this light blue line is to the red line. I think we're going to see a little bit more price action here for the next trading day, maybe going into Monday. And I do think it is possible for us to be a little bit green, but I do think we're going to stay in a lower range, which is a bearish signal that we may start dropping in the next upcoming days in the future. Now we do have the Texas Gigafactory grand opening, which I think could push us up a little bit in share price, at least temporarily. But after that, I still see us descending once again below not just 1070, but well, a little bit as low as 1050. And we could end up filling the gap, at least temporarily, before we start to run a little bit. Now, the big thing going forward is for my price prediction. Okay, let me tell you that first, and I'm going to talk about that. So, in terms of prices, I expect us to run up tomorrow. I do think we're going to see resistance now at 1,100. We could break out of it temporarily, but we're probably going to dip below that. We're going to drop and trade in that range that I just drew for some time. And then I do expect us to close below 1,100. We're probably going to drop, maybe close around the 1,080 range, maybe a little bit above where we are right now. But we're going to see more price action that's a little bit lower than where the midline is. So like I said before, I am a little bit more bearish than bullish as of right now. We do have the Texas Gigafactory opening, which I think will push the share price up temporarily. But then I do see us starting to descend a little bit after that. So just to remind you, I know people don't like to hear this part. This part's a little bit painful, but we are seeing this big gap right here. And I do think this gap is going to get filled soon. I don't think it's going to happen that quickly. I think it's going to take some time, but I do think in the upcoming weeks, we are going to fill this gap and drop all the way back down. So I just want to prepare you guys as of right now. It's not the end of the world. I'm still very bullish, but this is something you need to be prepared for. There will be some drops here and there in this stock, but for the long term, I'm still extremely bullish. I see this thing going to thousands of dollars a share. Nothing has changed. So anyways, I want to talk about this right here. We had more news come out. I think it just barely came out today that the Shanghai Gigafactory is going to pause for even more time. It's extended to the 2nd of April. So a longer pause is not going to be that great. I think it may have somewhat of an effect on their deliveries. So it's not, the end of the world. They're doing this because of the fact that there's an outbreak over there for the virus. And I wish the best for every single person there. I want as many people to stay safe. And them having to do this shows how severe it may actually be. And this can affect their numbers, at least to some degree. So I just want to put this out there. But this is one of the reasons probably why we saw some bearish price action. Also, we're cooling off and like dropping a little bit. It's just normal. So another thing that I'm seeing is right here, we're set to see a lockdown plan for Shanghai. It may last as far as Monday, April 4th, or even longer than that. So just be prepared for that. We may even get a second extension. That's what I think other articles were saying. But as of right now, the confirmed date would be April 2nd. That's when we should start to reopen. I really hope it is reopened on April 2nd. Most likely it will be, but as of right now, it's still kind of uncertain. Now, I also want to look at this right here. We have a second stock split potentially coming. And in my opinion, that's going to be very good for maybe the price action. I'm not trying to say it's good for the company because in turn, it does not improve fundamentals, but it does open doors for many smaller investors. And I have another video coming out about this going forward. Now, we don't know the exact date yet, but this could be pretty insane going forward. I don't know exactly when, but once the news comes, I'm going to report it to you guys. And that still is very awesome. Now, another big thing that you have to be talking about is the fact that we have deliveries coming out, I believe, tomorrow. And that's going to be very awesome for the share price, because if we have very, very good deliveries for the long term, right? If these deliveries are very awesome, if we're showing consistent growth, it could cause us to actually rally a little bit on, I don't know, maybe parts of tomorrow, maybe on Monday, we could see a slight rally, maybe a little bit later. So this could be awesome for the share price if they have very, very good Q1 deliveries. And to me, I don't expect it to be that great because of the Shanghai shutdown. So I don't expect this to just cause us to rally overnight. But for the long term, as their deliveries improve, as we have the grand opening of the Texas Gigafactory and other things like that, this would be fantastic. So, like I said before, I'm very bullish for the long term future, but you have to remember something. When you look at the way in which this share price has been moving, it is looking a little bit bearish, right? It's looking a little bit bearish maybe for tomorrow. For Monday, we could rally just a little bit because of the grand opening, or as we get closer to the grand opening, or we may not. But like I said, it could really go either way. But as of right now, for tomorrow, I do see us most likely dropping a little bit. So I want to prepare you guys for that. We may have a slight green day tomorrow, but I do see more bearish price action, and we could start to test the $1,070 to $1,050 level very soon. So I just want to prepare you guys for that. Anyways, have a fantastic rest of the day. You guys know my prediction. I'm going to say it one last time. I see us running up a little bit, dropping, trading below this blue line, maybe below the $1,100 level for some time, and also closing perhaps, I would say, a little bit in the green, but it's not going to be that strong. We are seeing some bearish signs, and we may continue like this going into next week. So I just wanted to prepare you guys for that. Anyways, I'm still very bullish. Natural cool offs are fine. They're normal. They're healthy, and you just got to be prepared for anything from this point. Anyways, thank you. Have a fantastic rest of the day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.